And welcome back, everyone, to Zanpakuto Creation Series. Today's Zanpakuto Series creation. Today's. G'day, everyone. The Zanpakuto Creation Series. The request is under one of mine. That's just the way it all carried out. Han Solo, because I have a list of franchises I go with, and I'm on Star Wars, so I'm like, Han Solo. Not a guy who uses a sword to begin with, but assuming that we gave this kind of character a Zanpakuto, turned him into a Shinigami and all that, what type of Zanpakuto? What would a Zanpakuto be? I think it would be something that mirrors a melee type, but with a Kido-esque ability. Its sealed state would still be a katana, as always. Now, its release. I think its release would be aim. And its Zanpakuto name would be Sharpshooter. Now, that being said, that translates out roughly to Shapu Shuta. Its Bankai would be Watchtower Longshot, or Monomito Nagasan Shot. So Watchtower Longshot. Now, its spirit mirrors something similar to kind of like a sharpshooter, to whatever varying degrees, but spirit's a little irrelevant. What is relevant is what form the sword takes and what does it actually do. And really, like I said, Han isn't a sword fighter. He can throw a punch, but he's not a melee fighter. The only time we ever saw him, at least in the canon film series, wield a lightsaber is when he cut open a tauntaun. Yes, there are comics where they have, I think, in fact, gotten hold of some lightsabers, and they all kind of had some. But Han doesn't actually fight that way. That's not what he is. He's a pirate. He fights with a gun. So with that said, however, I do think you could mirror that in a Zanpakuto. Now, I think the Zanpakuto itself does stay the same. But essentially, as a Shinigami, as a sword fighter, I see him being like an Itajutsu specialist or a quick draw specialist. And that would translate into his sword's ability, where he quick draws and shoots essentially a blast of Kido, and then quickly sheathes it and does it again, and does it again, and does it again. And that's essentially what the sword does. I can also see the sword actually shrinking just enough or changing size just enough to make actual drawing the sword easier. Now, that being said, in Bankai, I could totally see this just being Lilibero's sniper rifle, but with Kido Reishi bullets instead, and minus the X-axis kind of thing. So ultimately, yeah, it's a simplistic type of ability. Now, that being said, as always, what are the weaknesses of the Zanpakuto? What are the strengths? Well, strengths clearly is long range. This is a long range weapon out the yin-yang. It's also a precision weapon, too. It's concentrated bolts of Reishi that can seriously hurt someone. Now, that said, however, it also, and even in close range, if he's able to draw his sword quick enough, he could still hurt someone in close range with the ability. But therein lies the problem. It kind of mirrors a little bit of what I did with Kenshin Himura's Zanpakuto, where when he like swipes his blade, like the effect of the swipe occurs on whatever he's looking at. Here, it's more you're firing a shot, like you're firing a bullet. But unfortunately, this means that the sword is not a melee fighting sword, including Bankai. Like in Bankai, it just is not designed for that at all. Yeah, I'm sure he could bludgeon someone with a rifle if he needed to, but as long as he's got Ryatsu, he's not running out of ammo. It's also not, I mean, he could charge up a shot with his Bankai, but he couldn't charge up a shot with his Shikai. It is, you couldn't just like hold the sword against the sheath, charge it up, and then fire. No, that's not how the Shikai works. Either way, though, that's my thoughts. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.